Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I'm trying to make it through the week. 5 years? It's a very long time for me to think ahead. What are your salary expectations? What are my salary expectations? Do I have an expectation when it comes to my salary? Can you work under pressure? The question is putting me under a lot of pressure. So how do I answer these questions when an interviewer asks them? Because these are some of the most difficult questions to answer, and on a 100% note, they would definitely ask you these questions. So how can you prepare yourself to answer these questions? How can you make it sound like you are the best candidate for this job? For the first time viewers to my channel, I'm Drynette Fernandez, an ex-cabin crew with an international airline. Welcome to my channel, Guide to Aviation. Continue watching this session as I give you answers that are most suitable for you to grab that job that you desire the most. So welcome back to Guide to Aviation. I would suggest you keep a notepad and a pen ready so you can write down all these suggestions and you can prepare yourself to answer these difficult questions. So let's go on to question number 1. What interests you about this role and our company? Always keep in mind, when a company hires you, they are investing a lot in you. By investment, I not only mean monetary, but there's a lot of time, effort, a lot of training put into training you to fit into that position. So whenever a company or a recruiter asks you this question, what they normally have in mind is whether you're going to be committed to the company, whether you're going to be invested in them long term. Because nobody wants to recruit somebody who wants to keep hopping from one place to another. Yeah, if they want to recruit, they want to see that you stick to that position or you're ready to grow in that company. So the answer that you're giving the recruiter when this question is asked to you, what interests you about this role and the company, make sure that you give them the answer that you are committed to them. So how can we put this in a sentence? How can we portray this in the best way to the recruiter? Let them know that you have researched their company and you are confident that you can build a long and successful career in their company. This gives them 2 ideas, that you have not come for the interview blank. You have researched on the company, you know what the company's values are and how you can contribute to their values. You can add to the growth of their company. It also gives them the second idea that you're planning to stick to that company, that you want to stay along with them for a very long period. Tell them that you're primarily very passionate about this job and your skills fit into the job description. For that, you need to know what the job description is. Always go through the job description before you could go for an interview. Check whether that matches your skill set and let them know that whatever the job description that they have enlisted there, you are capable of that. Those are the qualities that you possess. Tell them that the company's values align with your values. Make them understand that during a day, most of the time you would be working. And when you're working at a job that you're really passionate about, that is where you can give your 100% into that job. That would make them understand that you're really passionate about working and that you would like to work with like-minded people where you have more opportunities for you to grow in that company. So you've not only given them the impression that you've researched on the company, you also gave them the impression that you're looking for a growth in that company. That will definitely catch their attention. Question number 2. Why are you leaving your current job? Always give them the understanding that you have career development aspirations. Never speak ill of the company that you were previously working. There could be vast reasons why you are leaving your current job, but never speak ill about the company that you are working with, or the employees, or your colleagues. Never give them the thought that, okay, salaries were coming in late, you didn't like the working environment, it was too much of pressure. That gives the interviewer a very negative impact, that you are not looking at your current job with appreciation that you're working there. So if you're going to be talking bad about the previous company, if they hire you here, would you actually appreciate the job that you have? Would you work together along with your colleagues? It gives them a very negative impression. So here, your main motive is not to give a negative impression, is to make them understand that you have worked very well with your colleagues in the past and you're looking for better growth. So how you can put it in as a good answer? Here's how you can answer it. I have reached my full potential at my previous organization. My employees, the team, the company, they were of absolute support, and we have built projects together. We have built a brand value. However, I see myself looking at the next chapter. I'm seeking a new challenge where I can utilize my skill set to the maximum. I'm hoping that this next chapter in my career would be working for your company where I grow professionally. This would make your recruiter understand that you're not leaving your previous company on a bad note, but it's just purely that you're looking for career growth and that you fit into all the job description that this company is offering, and you can contribute to the next company that you're joining in the most of what skills that you have. And that would also help build your career professionally. Question number 3. How can you handle working under pressure and tight deadlines? Every working environment has a little pressure that you would need to handle. Yes, I know nowadays it's a little difficult when it comes to handling pressure, but nothing is smooth. Even a smooth sea has high tides, low tides, and very heavy waves that are coming in. So your job anywhere is not going to be as smooth as you think it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of deadlines that you would be working on, a lot of pressure that you would have to take. So here what the interviewer wants to know is, how are you going to handle this work pressure? What if you're given deadlines? How would you handle it? What I would suggest you would say is, you can tell them that you work one day at a time. You plan your whole schedule. Now when a project is given to you, there would be a deadline to it. So how are you going to work on it? You can tell them that you would plan yourself according to the time frame that is given to you. Like say if it is a 30-day or a 15 days timeline that you have to finish this project. Make them understand on each day how are you planning to work to achieve your goal, because they do not want you rushing at the end of that term. If you keep procrastinating, okay, today's job you're going to do it tomorrow, then it's going to further go on to the next day. What happens is by the end of that deadline, you're going to be burdened. So you can tell them that you are not planning on accumulating all the work to the end, but planning each day what you could do. If you can do more on the start of your project, so that would give you a little less of pressure towards the end of the project, so it is not overly burdening you. You can tell them how you're planning to work one day at a time and ease your job, and it comes to full conclusion at the end of your project. Question number 4. Why should we hire you? Always remember that your answers would be compared with the other candidates that the interviewers have interviewed through that day. You're not the only one who they've interviewed. You would probably be 15th, the 25th candidate. So they would compare, the interviewers would compare your answer with the answers of the other candidate, and they will check if you're the best candidate for that one job position. So how can you answer this question? You can start with, I have a few answers that makes me the most eligible for this job role. Some of them say that you're ready-made for this job. You have all the skill set that they have mentioned in the job description. But once you are recruited, you can act immediately in that job profile. You can work with the team immediately. You would fit perfectly along with the team to achieve the success of that particular project. You can tell them that you bring creative ideas to the team. Tell them that you're a fast worker, that you can work on a project above an average employee that would bring better results to the company. Tell them that you have a plan of action. Let them understand that you know exactly what you're going to do to achieve those goals and targets. All these answers can give them an idea that you have actually researched and you are really fit to be in that role, and you are the better candidate when compared to all the other candidates that they have interviewed through those days. Next question. What motivates you to work? This is actually kind of a little psychological question. Yeah, it mainly says whether you're really interested in that one job profile. Let them know that it is the passion for you to work that drives you. Make them understand that you're really passionate about your job, that you know your KRAs, which is key result area, where you know exactly what to do, when to do, and how to do. You do not need a supervisor to follow up on you to just do the job that is instructed to you. You have that self-driven passion in you that makes you just want to go for work because you really love your job. Question number 6. How do you handle feedback and criticism? We all have weakness. We are not perfectionists. The work that we do can sometimes be flawed. But when a criticism or a feedback is given to you, how are you going to handle it? Let your interviewer know that you're going to take it positively. Remember that it is wise to take feedback and apply it to your job when it is given to you by a supervisor. Always keep in mind that your supervisors are in that position because they have the experience there. And when a criticism is put across to you, it is because of their good intention that they want you to perfect that role to avoid making mistakes. It only would help you to grow in your career. So when you're asked, are you open to feedback? Do reply to them that you're always open to feedback, because it only helps in your growth in your career. Question number 7. What are your salary expectations? Very tricky question here. When you're giving them your salary expectations, you should always keep 2 things in mind. One, that you do not overprice yourself, that you lose the job that you're interested in. Number 2, you know what you are worth. Always keep these two reasons in your mind when you are giving your interviewer your salary expectations. So what is the best way to answer this question? It's a very difficult question because you do not know how much the company is willing to pay you, or you do not want to take a very low salary that makes you unhappy. It has to be a win-win for both, where the company is happy with what they are paying you and you're also happy with what they're offering you. So how can you say? Before you could answer this question or before you could go for an interview, I would always suggest that you do a little research on the role. What is the salary that is given to a particular person in that role? So you would have an idea that, okay, this to this. Now, I'm not going to give you exact figures, say A to C. This is what the company is going to offer. They can offer you A or they can offer you C. Sometimes they can meet you at B as well. So how are you going to suggest that? Do let your interviewer understand that you have researched on the range of salary for your position, and you also know its demands, and let them understand that you have the skill set to fit into that position and you are worth that salary. It is okay to even ask the interviewer what would they offer for this position. Sometimes in the job description, it will also be mentioned that this is the salary that the company is willing to pay between A to B. So you can also mention that this is what it has mentioned in the job description along with the CTC, to take CTC. So it is okay for you to ask them what would they be willing to pay you. Do not portray exorbitant figures that would put the interviewer off, because they would consider you not fit for the role if you're asking for a very high remuneration. Always keep in mind that this question would probably be asked towards the end of your interview. So if you've actually had a very clear flow through the entire interview and you've impressed your interviewer, this one question can put them off. Don't give them a chance for that. Now, when you are leaving your current job and you're joining a new company, the interviewers might ask you, are you looking for a hike from your current salary? It is okay for you to ask for a 10 to 20% increment from your current salary. I feel that's fair to ask for it. That's absolutely fine. Question number 8. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Yes, a very tricky question. As at the introduction I did mention that most of the time we always have this thought in our head that, okay, I have to survive through this week. But you can't let your interviewer know that. When they ask you this question, what is their main intention? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? They want to understand whether you are willing to grow along with the company, whether you're going to stick to the company. These are the main intentions that an interviewer wants to know, because as I said, they are investing a lot in you. Their time, their money, their training, all this they are investing on you. Yeah, so they do not want, the company do not want to recruit somebody who's not willing to stay with them at least for a few years. They want people who are looking at long-term bond with a company. Always make them understand that you're looking for a higher position. You're looking to grow in that company where you have reached a higher position, where you managed a lot of projects, where you handled teams from small to a bigger team. Show them, tell them how you plan to grow with the company. It is not an exact question where they are asking you, what are you going to do 5 years from now? Their idea, they want to know whether you're going to stick to the company. So make sure you plan to tell them that you plan to grow with the company. You plan to grow in your career with that company. That will give them a clear idea that you do not want to keep jumping from one position to another. You're going to stick to that. I hope this session has been really informative to you. Stay tuned, as my next video is going to be related to more interview tips. So continue watching me on Guide to Aviation. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you get first-hand information to all my upcoming videos. Ciao!